Welcome to another episode of Doing It Cheap. In today's episode, I'm going to show you 3 different ways to scramble eggs. Yeah, I know, everybody knows how to scramble an egg, but I'm going to explain to you what different techniques will do for you. For example, if you're going to make an omelet, add a tablespoon of water to your egg. A tablespoon of water for each egg. And if it's a big jumbo egg, you might want to add maybe 3 teaspoons. But the idea behind adding the water to the egg is when you cook it, it lays flat in the pan and stays thin. And then when you sprinkle your cheese and ham, peppers, onions, tomatoes, whatever you put in it, it heats them up a lot quicker because that egg is not fluffy. The way insulation works in our homes is insulation, like fiberglass insulation, doesn't stop cold or heat transfer. Insulation works because that fiberglass traps air pockets, and air is your insulator because it takes a long time to change the temperature of air. That's why a thermos works. You know, you have a coffee thermos. It's a container inside a container, and what's between them is just an air pocket. So anyway, enough of the science. Anyway, if you'll add a tablespoon of water to a regular large egg and 3 teaspoons if it's a jumbo, you'll get a nice flat egg cooking in your pan, and that'll take care of that. The second way, you want a nice fluffy egg, nice and pretty and fluffy. You add you add milk. Okay, milk will make that egg nice and fluffy and add air to it, and it just makes it pretty. The third way is orange juice. If you'll add orange juice to your egg, it gives the most magnificent flavor. I mean, it tastes so good. Just that little hint of orange. Maybe you don't always want to drink a big old glass of juice at breakfast, but just that little taste of orange really just sets that egg apart from any others you've ever tried. So, water, milk, orange juice. That's 3 different ways, and I'm going to show you now how it's done. Well, folks, the first way I'm going to show you is if you're going to make an omelet. If you're going to make an omelet, you add a tablespoon of water. A tablespoon of water to your egg, or a tablespoon of water for each egg. And what that does is when you pour that in the skillet, it makes that egg thinner, and it'll lay down there and cook flat and thin. And then when you get ready to add your ingredients, your cheese or ham or whatever you want to put in that omelet, because that thing is nice and flat, not thick and fluffy, what happens is your cheese and everything will melt better. You also don't want your pan to be too hot. You just sprinkle that cheese or the ham, onions, peppers, tomatoes, whatever you like in your omelet, you put in there. And when it's about cooked through, almost cooked through, that's when you'd want to go in here and lay that thing over. See that pretty color? So, if you're going to do an omelet, that's the way you do your eggs. Okay? As with water. The next thing I want to show you is if you want your egg to be fluffy, you add milk. So there's a tablespoon of milk. One egg. And your eggs be nicer if you just fold them a few times. Don't beat the fool out of them. Just fold them up some. And that's how you get a nice, light, fluffy egg. That's adding milk. See that? Now, the third way to do it, you want to add some color. You want that egg to be real pretty and have a real nice flavor. We're going to add some orange juice. But first, we'll clean that pan a little bit. I never let water touch my cast iron. No. You get water on that cast iron, you got to start all over again if you season it. So I just use some salt. And that'll cut whatever you got in there, even if you make gravy in there, to cut it off. And then I'll just dump that salt in the sink. I'll add a little more butter to the pan. Yeah, I didn't get it all off there, but that's all right. Okay. The third way is orange juice. A tablespoon of orange juice to 1 egg. Oh, and something that I learned is that if you like, you like salt and pepper on your eggs, is do not put salt on your eggs while they're cooking in the pan. If you do, it makes them watery. So, I think Emeril Lagasse said that. And who am I to argue with Emeril Lagasse? He makes a hell of a lot more money cooking than I do. And then this egg is done with orange juice. And you'll be able to see the difference, hopefully, whenever we compare them all side by side. See that pretty light fluffy egg, and then here this is laying kind of flat. And then here's with our orange juice. Orange juice gives it a real, just a nice flavor. So, that's eggs 3 ways. That's water, milk, and orange juice. And I believe that orange juice sure made it nice and fluffy as well. Now you can't see it in here. The lighting is real bad. I'm gonna take it in yonder where we got more light and show you. Let me pause this. Okay. Well, again, I don't think it shows up very well. But this is my omelet. This is where we added water to the egg. This is where we used milk and made it real nice fluffy eggs. And then this is with orange juice. It's got just a bright, pretty yellow color to it. So that's eggs 3 different ways, and they are absolutely delicious no matter which way you prefer. But you can see the The omelet lays down nice and thin. I gotta eat. Well, folks, that was eggs 3 different ways, and I just finished eating them. They was mighty good. Probably been better if whenever I whipped shake pepper on it, I hadn't turned them black because it had a big hole. Anyway, too much pepper came out, but they were still good. Anyway, I hope you enjoy those little helpful hints. If you got an idea for a video, send it to me. We'll see if we can't do it for you. Have a wonderful day and a better tomorrow. Bye.